Happy Thursday, everyone. I am just popping on here to show you what our work will look like today. I'm going to share my screen with you, and I do want to mention that in our little PowerPoint that I'm going to be sharing, we're going to be using this for a few days. So once we finish today's work, don't turn it in. This will last us until, I want to say, next Thursday. So we'll just do little chunks of it at a time all together, and then probably next Thursday, next Friday, we'll have you turn it in. So today we're going to transition a little from the fossils, paleontology, and start segueing over to learning about Native Americans. It actually fits quite nicely after we read our land bridge theory paper right here. We're going to summarize it by answering questions right here, explaining the who, when, where, why, what, and how of the land bridge theory. So this might be a little small for you, so if you're having trouble reading it, go ahead and just listen to me read it, and then you can type your answers right into the PowerPoint. And then don't feel like you have to move forward with any other slides or turn it in. You're just going to do this slide, and then we'll save it for the next day. So the land bridge theory. Many archaeologists believe that the first natives or first peoples arrived in North America over 10,000 years ago during the last ice age. They call it the land bridge theory. During the Ice Age, the glaciers caused sea levels to be much lower than they are today. The water was locked up in huge glaciers. This uncovered a stretch of land called, I'm probably going to say this wrong, but Beringia, creating a passageway from Asia to North America. So from over here to over here. So instead of it being separated by ocean like it is now, there was a passageway between those two continents. When the climate warmed approximately 10,000 years ago, the glaciers melted. This caused the sea level to rise and cover that piece of land, so that's why it's not there anymore. We now call it the Bering Strait because it is immersed in water. Although North America was covered with a sheet of ice and difficult to live in at the time, natives still came across the land bridge. Archaeologists believe they actually walked from Asia to North America following their main sources of food, the large herds of woolly mammoths, which we talked about last week, where they were overhunted because of us humans. That is why the first peoples were referred to as nomads or wanderers. They wandered after their food and had no permanent settlement. These first Americans kept migrating south and eventually spread throughout North America. So as they worked their way from Asia to North America, if you can see this is Alaska, Canada, they would be working their way down to North America where we're at right now. Let me see. These first Americans kept migrating south and eventually spread throughout North America. How these first people actually arrived in the Americas is still a debate. Some archaeologists think they came by foot across Beringia, and others believe they came by wooden boats along the Pacific coast, while others think they lived in Beringia for a period of time. What do you believe? So there's still theories. By the way, that is why it's called a theory. It's not necessarily a fact, but it's one way that they're using to explain how something happened. So they're thinking maybe there was more exposed land right here for people to walk across. Maybe they took boats across, or maybe there was more land that was exposed and people actually lived here and eventually worked their way down. So that's kind of the land bridge theory. And then what we're going to do is explain, I know it made it a little smaller right here. Our job is to explain the who, what, when, where, why, for how many cookies over here. So as you can see, there was the thing I just read right here. Your job will be to click into who. Who is this land bridge theory about? So who were the main people they were talking about? Try to use a full sentence when doing this. When did this happen? I know it didn't give an exact date, but it did tell us how many years ago. It did tell us during what period of time. Where did this happen? So there's a map to explain it, and it also talks about two large continents. Why did this happen? So thinking about what was the reasoning archaeologists believe, even though we're not 100% sure, the theory says they came here because they were doing this. And so what exactly, the what means, what is the land bridge theory? So what is the land bridge? What is it called? Um, how would you describe it? Where did it come from? And then how? So how are these people using this land bridge to get from place to place? So this is just kind of a summary of all those ideas that were in here. At least a couple words to full sentences for each of these. And then once you finish it, it should automatically save for you, and then you'll just click the close button. Don't turn it in, just leave it there, and then tomorrow we'll pick up with the same assignment, moving on to our next slide. So that should be everything you need to know. Let me know if you need any help. You guys know all the ways to do that, and otherwise I will see you soon. All right, bye.